Tonight, a warning for parents after the death of a 12-year-old boy in BC.
You really see this manipulation start to happen of really aggressive and explicit threats.
What police say about a dangerous rise in the sexual extortion of kids. A promise to release more hostages as Israel and Hamas extend a fragile truce.
How hopeful are you with the 2 days extension of the ceasefire that you might be able to see your son?
And we break down how an oil executive ended up leading a global climate conference.
So this is the person in charge of the COP?
This is The National with Chief Correspondent Adrian Arsenault.
Thanks for joining us. The tragic death of a child in British Columbia has prompted police to issue a warning to parents about the dangers posed by sextortion. The RCMP say a 12-year-old boy took his own life last month after being targeted online, and reports of other sextortion cases are on the rise. They're still trying to identify a suspect in the boy's case, and as Yvette Bren shows us, his family's grief is all too familiar to another.
It's hard.
For Carol Todd, news another child has taken their life after a case of sextortion is a jarring reminder of her own pain.
It's heartbreaking for me to know that another family is going through a grieving process for a situation that could be prevented.
This would have been her own daughter Amanda Todd's 27th birthday. She took her own life 11 years ago after she was extorted online by a Dutch man, now convicted in her death.
These predators out there are, they're more advanced than they were even when this was happening to Amanda.
Prince George RCMP now say a 12-year-old boy died by suicide in October after he became a victim of sextortion.
These are not quick investigations to go through, determining where in the world this suspect may be.
Sextortion is when someone demands cash or sexual favors by threatening to expose intimate images online.
You really see this manipulation start to happen of really aggressive and explicit threats, such as, I'll go after your family, I'm going to share this and they won't love you anymore. And they'll really feed into the fears that you might have.
Experts estimate there are more than 50 cases of sextortion a day in Canada, and it's getting worse, and are urging governments and big tech companies to do more to protect kids.
Well, governments, yes, have to absolutely step in and do something. So it's been a totally abysmal, failed social experiment.
Police are urging parents to talk to their kids about the dangers.
Knowing what I know now, I would have had deeper conversations with my child and telling her that you can come to mom or dad anytime and tell us and we'll help you.
Yvette, what's your sense of what cyber experts are advising to keep kids safe?
Well, you know, they're telling parents to talk openly with your children about what's happening. And don't assume that your kids are too smart to fall for this. They also warn, not to say you're going to take their device away if they make a mistake, because that's when kids start to hide things and then maybe do something desperate and in the end, tragic.
All right, these are good tips. Yvette Bren in Vancouver, thank you.
Thank you.
So there are people ready to help any young person dealing with sextortion or with any other concern. You can call the Kids Help Phone at 1-800-668-6868 or text 686-868, or you can reach them online. Support's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Turning now to the war in the Middle East, the truce in Gaza is holding tonight and is now expected to last for an additional 2 days. As Briar Stewart shows us, that's giving more hope to the families of those hostages who've not yet been released.
A fourth group of hostages held by Hamas is now free, as seen in this video filmed by the militant group. 11 women and children, including 3-year-old twins, were exchanged for 33 Palestinians who were imprisoned in Israel. And officials say there will be more. The truce is being extended for 2 days. Among those released so far, 21-year-old Maya Regev. In this video released by Hamas, the militants waved goodbye to her. In October, she was shot as she tried to flee the music festival. She was overjoyed when she reunited with her mother on Saturday, but distraught that her younger brother Itai is still a hostage. Just before their mother spoke to the media Monday, she learned her son wasn't on the list for release.
How hopeful are you with the 2 days extension of the ceasefire that you might be able to see your son?
I'm on.
A lot of hope. Itai should have already been released in the deal. He's only 18 years old, she said. We're willing to wait another 2 days.
Nothing was certain until we saw them.
Canadian Aaron Brodutch was at the hospital near Tel Aviv on Sunday as his brother reunited with his wife Hagar and their 3 children.
You could see on Hagar's face what a tough time she's had there. She's, been very strong and brave through almost 2 months of hell.
In Gaza, life is also bleak, where 1.7 million have been displaced. Some living in soggy tents because their homes have been destroyed or located in areas that are too dangerous to stay in. I hope that there's a permanent ceasefire. We don't want truces where every few days we're left like this, said this man. Crowds swell with desperate people waiting for flour. A longer pause in fighting means more aid will be trucked in, but the UN says it still isn't able to reach all of the thousands who still live in the north, unwilling or unable to leave the hardest hit areas despite the many warnings. Why would you go to a place where you know no one and live among them, said one man. Let's die here on our own lands. It's more honorable.
So, Briar, those 2 extra days will surely help get aid in, but there are more calls for a lot more to be done.
That's right, Adrian. The UN has called on Israel to reopen its crossing into southern Gaza so more aid can get in much more quickly. But so far, Israel has rejected calls to do that. But with 2 extra days, more aid will get in. And tonight, Israel's government released a list of 50 names of Palestinians who they're considering to release early in exchange for hostages.
All right, Briar Stewart and the team in Jerusalem tonight. Thank you. U.S. President Joe Biden is condemning the shooting of 3 college students of Palestinian descent in Vermont over the weekend. Police have arrested a suspect, and the investigation continues. But as Katie Simpson tells us, the victims' families think the motive was hate.
The suspect sat inside a prison holding room, appearing emotionless during his video arraignment. A lawyer entered a not guilty plea on his behalf on attempted murder charges in the shooting of 3 friends, all U.S.-based college students of Palestinian descent, all now starting a long road to recovery.
I'm blown away by their resilience, by their good humor in the face of these difficult times.
The victims were attacked while out for a supper-hour walk Saturday. At the time, they were speaking a mix of English and Arabic, and 2 of the young men were wearing a keffiyeh, the traditional Arab scarf. Police say they were approached by a silent stranger who suddenly opened fire. Within hours, a suspect was arrested when officers just happened to knock on his front door.
Stepped out of the hall, out of the door towards them with his palms up at waist height and stated something to the effect of, "I've been waiting for you."
Investigators are now trying to determine a motive and possible hate-related charges.
And although we do not yet have evidence to support a hate crime enhancement, I do want to be clear that there is no question this was a hateful act.
The victims' relatives say they fear this was a hate crime.
Hard to imagine in this time and with everything that's happening that it was just a random act.
Since the October 7th Hamas attacks on Israel, reports of Islamophobia and anti-Semitism have surged in the U.S., according to the Attorney General, who is deploying federal resources to help overwhelmed local authorities.
No person and no community in this country should have to live in fear of hate-fueled violence.
The president, in a statement, says he's horrified by the Vermont shooting and is being updated on the investigation. Katie Simpson, CBC News, Washington.
Police in Montreal are investigating an attack on a Jewish community center. Early this morning, a Molotov cocktail was thrown through the glass door of the Jewish Community Council of Montreal. No one was hurt. The damage was minor. Police say they will be looking at security footage to try to figure out who did it. And a fourth person has now died after a mass shooting in Winnipeg on Sunday. Police have identified the victims, including two sisters in their 30s. But as Cam McIntosh tells us, what they didn't identify was a suspect.
The body of one of the dead removed from a crime scene, Winnipeg police say will take days to piece together. Over the weekend, 5 people were shot in this Winnipeg rooming house. The police chief is urging calm and patience.
We will do everything that we can to discover why this happened and who was involved.
Among the dead, 2 sisters, Stephanie and Crystal Beardy, both from Lake St. Martin First Nation.
I seen Stephanie on the Friday.
Chief Christopher Travers says Stephanie was in the city to visit family and had been working to overcome a troubled past.
You know, it changed for the better of herself and her children, and it was on a positive. She was on a positive road.
Also identified Malelek Laseri Lasickle, Dylan Maxwell LaValle. A third man is in critical condition. Police say the victims were all found in one suite. It's not clear how they're all connected. CBC News has also learned none of them were tenants of the house. Currently, there are no suspects. Police have been talking to neighbors looking for witnesses or surveillance footage, anything that can shed light on what led up to this. They're also appealing to the public for information.
Someone knows about this crime as well. This is a dangerous offender.
Police also say they'll beef up patrols in the neighborhood where people are worried.
Concerning for me about our safety. So I just saw a bunch of yellow tape and I was concerned.
Manitoba's premier calls the violence unacceptable.
To the people responsible for this, I want to send a clear message. You do not run our streets. You do not own our streets.
Meanwhile, police say it'll take days to finish their work here with an investigation that's large in scale that has no clear leads. Cameron McIntosh, CBC News, Winnipeg.
For the first time since serial killer Paul Bernardo was moved out of a maximum security facility, the head of Canada's prison system has faced questions directly from MPs about his transfer. Ashley Burke was there.
The Commissioner of Corrections Canada called to Parliament Hill over the controversial prison transfer of Paul Bernardo.
This offender committed horrific crimes. I regret any pain and concern this has caused.
Bernardo was convicted in 1995 of kidnapping, sexually assaulting, and killing Kristen French and Leslie Mahaffey, and for the manslaughter of his then sister-in-law, Tammy Homolka. After 30 years in maximum security prisons, Bernardo was transferred to a medium security facility in May, sparking public outrage. The families of his victims only notified the morning it happened.
Mr. Bernardo was put ahead of the victims.
I wouldn't say he was put ahead of the victim.
Notifying the victims after the transfer or simultaneously was putting them at a fair place.
MPs demanding to know why such a high-profile, dangerous offender was moved to a medium security prison.
Does not negate the fact that he's also a psychopath.
Kelly says Bernardo's still a danger to the public, but can be managed in a medium security facility, unlike maximum security prisoners.
They assault staff. They throw urine on staff. They stab each other.
MPs question whether Bernardo's getting softer treatment now.
It's the same food. It's the same type of cell. It's the same bedding.
And the same razor wire fence. But Bernardo can now move around more freely inside. Kelly insists he won't be moved to minimum security.
There's absolutely no talk of certainly going to a lower security level.
A review into the Bernardo prison transfer found more could be done to support victims. Kelly said a committee started meeting this month to look for solutions. Ashley Burke, CBC News, Ottawa.
A memorial service will be held Tuesday for former U.S. First Lady Rosalynn Carter. Members of the public were able to pay their respects as she lay in repose at the Jimmy Carter Presidential Library and Museum. The former president is expected to attend the service tomorrow. Jimmy Carter entered hospice care in February. Rosalynn Carter died earlier this month, not long after entering hospice care herself. Alberta is in uncharted territory tonight after invoking its recently passed Sovereignty Act for the first time. The Premier says it's needed to protect the province from promised federal rules on clean electricity. Terry Reith looks at what might happen next.
The announcement sets up a showdown between the federal government and the province of Alberta.
We refuse to meekly accept actions which are so plainly destructive to Alberta's economy and to the very safety and security of Alberta citizens.
So Premier Danielle Smith is invoking the province's controversial Sovereignty Act to sidestep promised federal government clean energy regulations aimed at achieving a net zero electrical grid by 2035.
I can't wait for years to fight the federal government back.
The Sovereignty Act allows Alberta to explain why it won't enforce certain federal laws. Monday's resolution calls on the Alberta government, to the extent legally permissible, refrain from recognizing the constitutional validity of the federal initiative and from enforcing or aiding in the enforcement of the federal initiative. But the federal government hasn't passed any regulations yet and is still negotiating with the provinces. This constitutional law expert believes Alberta is setting the stage for a legal fight.
I would think what invoking the Sovereignty Act does is it sets up prospective actors in the Alberta system to prepare to respond to the regulations.
Specialists in climate change say Canada's 2035 pledge is important and that Alberta is on the wrong track by ignoring it.
Essentially an investment killing move, and it's just a political tactic.
The federal minister of the environment says Ottawa has been flexible with the provinces, and Alberta's move is ideological.
It's bad for Albertans, it's bad for workers in Albertans, it's bad for the economy of Alberta.
Smith says the move is proof that the province believes it has the constitutional authority to say no to federal clean energy regulations. Terry Reith, CBC News, Edmonton.
A Nova Scotia woman is speaking out tonight about the sexual trauma she says she endured serving in the Canadian Armed Forces and the compensation she's now received.
I believe in standing up and talking about things that are not right.
Why her story is inspiring others. Next. Plus, can the lobster fishery go electric?
50 miles out, it's like a long extension cord.
Why the idea isn't catching on with everyone. And speaking of electric, things just got a little brighter at a home in Edmonton.
We're right in the area of about 135,000.
Holiday spirit supercharged. We're back at 2. Well, the Vatican says Pope Francis's condition is improving. He's being treated for a lung inflammation. The illness forced him to cancel this weekend's public audience at St. Peter's Square. But today he met the president of Paraguay and his wife at his private residence. And Friday, the Pope is planning to attend the COP28 climate conference in Dubai. A Nova Scotia woman says her years-long fight with Veterans Affairs for proper recognition has finally ended in validation. She's speaking out about the sexual trauma she experienced in the military and hopes her story will help others. Kayla Hounsell explains.
You're my little helper, right?
Zandra Panette joined the Canadian Armed Forces in 2011 as a social worker to help soldiers process their trauma. But she says less than 3 years later, she was sexually assaulted and wound up with PTSD herself.
I went to my first mess dinner.
She says she woke up beside a senior officer.
And my clothing was on the floor, scattered around, my pantyhose was torn.
Within 3 months, she was medically released from the military and diagnosed with PTSD.
Because I didn't feel safe to be on base Gagetown. I would sit in the living room with a knife beside me.
She applied for the Critical Injury Benefit through Veterans Affairs Canada. Typically awarded for a physical injury, such as amputation or paralysis, it compensates for severe and traumatic physical or psychological service-related injuries. She was denied.
We shouldn't have to fight as hard as we do.
But then she saw Fabian Henry had appealed and won. He was diagnosed with PTSD after witnessing 2 soldiers die in Afghanistan and is believed to be the first to receive the benefit for a psychological injury.
What I seen was a gateway for everybody that had a critical injury with mental health.
So Panette appealed too, and last month the Veterans Review and Appeal Board overturned the decision, granting her a lump sum of more than $84,000.
They said, yes, you meet the criteria and you'd be the first for military sexual trauma.
Veterans Affairs says it can't confirm whether Panette is the first because it doesn't track decisions by condition or cause. Some survivors and advocates say that's a problem.
We need to have a better idea of the scope of what this type of injury can cause in somebody's life. There's a lot of stats that we're missing.
A survivor of military sexual harassment herself, Donna Van Leusden-Rigadel had never heard of the benefit until she heard from CBC News.
I actually myself applied for it last night.
That's exactly what Zandra Panette was hoping for.
I believe in standing up and talking about things that are not right.
With the help of her dog and therapy, she says she's doing better and hopes others get the same validation she's now experiencing. Kayla Hounsell, CBC News, New Glasgow, Nova Scotia.
A move to try to make Canada's lobster fishery greener isn't sitting well with everyone in the industry.
What do you think the average fishing captain is going to say about this idea?
No.
The push to get crews on board with electric boats. Plus, an Ontario MPP censured for her controversial statements about the Israel-Hamas war.
It's hateful. It's racist. It's anti-Semitic. It's vile.
Why Sarah Jama isn't backing down and why some say her rhetoric is so dangerous. And the oil executive running this year's climate conference.
He's the CEO of the Abu Dhabi National Oil Company. So this is the person in charge of the COP.
Is it an opportunity or blatant conflict of interest? The National breaks down the story shaping our world. Next. The U.S. Coast Guard says that freighter is going nowhere tonight. It is stuck in the Detroit River. The plan now is to refloat it starting in the morning so it can continue on its journey, delivering 19,000 tons of wheat to Italy. A storm has taken some of the water out of the river, which sees a few ships run aground every year. And stormy weather delayed the start of the lobster fishing season in parts of southwestern Nova Scotia today. Their next chance is Wednesday. For generations, diesel has been used to power the boats there. But as Brett Ruskin shows us, that tradition is facing change.
Diesel lobster boats sound like this. And electric boats like this. Sue Malloy imagines a quieter, cleaner, greener way to fish for lobster with upgraded boats.
We have put our electric motor. You can see the size of the electric motor is not very big. It fits underneath the deck. And then we have a belt system to attach to a sprocket on the drive shaft.
The crew would use the diesel engine to get out to their fishing spot, but then switch to electric power for low-speed work like hauling in traps. With bigger batteries, they could even use electricity the whole time with diesel just as a backup.
We left the existing throttle for the diesel engine. We added another throttle for the electric.
Some captains like the idea.
Would you buy, build, have an electric boat too? Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Andrew Arbuckle fishes through the summer and comes back to shore each afternoon.
We sell our catch each day.
Instead of a gas pump, he could plug in an electric boat overnight to a charger. But it's not as easy for boats that go miles offshore and stay there for days. Dan Fleck represents boats like those.
What do you think the average fishing captain is going to say about this idea?
No.
Just no.
Just no.
Others on the wharf agree.
Yeah, 50 miles out inside a long extension cord.
It's just wishful thinking. It ain't gonna work.
No. Is this just about grumpy fishing captains not wanting change?
These captains who run these vessels and run their small businesses are business people. Believe me, if they can find a nickel or a place to save a nickel, they will. But an electric motor is not a way to save money.
So while there are promising options on the horizon guaranteed to cut costs and emissions for bigger boats hauling in the most lobster, the technology and trust in it isn't there yet. Brett Ruskin, CBC News, Halifax.
Now we dig deeper into the stories shaping our world. This week, the world's largest climate conference will be led by the head of an Arab state oil company. Will he be a climate savior or saboteur? But first, a politician punished for her views speaks to CBC News. This is the breakdown. This Ontario legislator was cast out by the NDP and silenced by the government for her views on the war in the Middle East.
Calling for a ceasefire, calling a genocide.
But many say those views cross a line.
It's anti-Semitic, it's vile.
Either way, her constituents are left with no voice.
The decision to censure a member of provincial parliament for views they hold is ultimately quite dangerous.
Sarah Jama's case is testing the limits of free speech for Canada's elected officials. Thomas Degla breaks down the controversy and the fallout.
Have a look around Sarah Jama's office in Hamilton, Ontario, and there's little doubt how she views that conflict half a world away. Her outspoken attitude on the Israel-Hamas war has left Jama's constituents with a diminished voice.
I'm still supporting my constituents every single day, and I'm still able to vote. I just cannot speak in the House unless I apologize.
This is the first time she agrees to a one-on-one broadcast interview.
I called for an immediate ceasefire.
Since Jama's words in October got her silenced in the Ontario legislature, leading to national headlines and concerns about free speech.
It's dangerous when we have a situation like this.
And since a video emerged raising more questions about her deeper convictions.
I think this shows the strength of the Zionist lobby here in Canada.
It's hateful. It's racist. It's anti-Semitic.
3 days after Hamas's October 7th massacre, Jama posted a statement online as an opposition MPP, not denouncing the attack, but instead demanding a ceasefire and labeling Israel an apartheid state. Facing a firestorm, she acknowledged a day later the pain that many Jewish and Israeli Canadians must be feeling, and she apologized.
I wonder what you were apologizing for in that moment.
I apologized in that moment for how my statement was interpreted and how people felt.
At Queen's Park, though, it wasn't enough, and the blowback was swift.
I hope the member will truly apologize. I hope the member will take down the statement.
The Progressive Conservative government moved to censure her, leaving Jama indefinitely barred from speaking in the legislature until she retracts her words and apologizes.
Stand up and say, I shouldn't have done that. I'll delete that tweet.
Premier Doug Ford went even further, accusing Jama of publicly supporting the rape and murder of innocent Jewish people.
I don't feel comfortable apologizing in the Legislative Assembly for things I did not say, and I will not do that.
Do you ever look back and think, there's something I could have said differently or worded differently and things could have worked out differently?
I stand by calling for a ceasefire, calling a genocide, reminding people that Palestine has been occupied, and reminding people that the outcome of this means more lives will continue to be lost.
Last March, Hamilton Centre, a hub of NDP support, gave Jama a landslide by-election win as a rookie New Democrat, sending the longtime community activist to the Ontario legislature as its only black Muslim woman.
She wants you to make space for her. Let's make some space for her, please.
This controversy, though, prompted the party to eject her from caucus. So voters who chose a New Democrat were suddenly handed an independent MPP. And politics expert Peter Grafe at McMaster University has concerns.
In a way, the people of Hamilton Centre are not fully represented in that legislature, and for reasons that simply have to do with the government of the day not approving of a certain set of views.
They now have an MPP who's not a New Democrat, who virtually has no voice in the legislature.
I think this is why the decision to censure a member of provincial parliament for views they hold is ultimately quite dangerous, because it does have the impact of cutting off the direct representation of people and of their views in the legislature.
Jama told us she's not considering resigning as a way to trigger a by-election here in Hamilton and give voters a chance to formally back her or reject her.
On social media, we found plenty of Hamiltonians showing their support for Jama. This user said she's the only free voice in the legislature. Another user called on the provincial NDP to invite her back into the party. At the same time, we found many of the posts criticizing Jama used coarse language so corrosive we won't repeat it here.
What have the past weeks been like for the community?
They've been very tense. People are worried.
Jasmine Rimberg with the Hamilton Jewish Federation considers Jama's words to be hurtful and dangerous.
I've heard from a few people from the riding in the Jewish community, and they're concerned. Her language in general with this whole situation has been very irresponsible, and it echoes a lot of that we've seen from Holocaust deniers.
For a government.
In this video, Jama is heard at a recent university lecture questioning what really happened on October 7th.
There's no actual evidence of these rapes and the babies with their heads cut off. Like, all these things are pieces of misinformation. So I think this shows the strength of the Zionist lobby here in Canada and the ways in which they're able to pressure an entire government operation to censure me indefinitely.
She says her words were taken out of context.
I obviously believe survivors. I don't stand by rape. And I think what I was attempting to shed light on was a lot of the lies that has been coming out to justify acts of genocide.
When people hear Zionist lobby, a lot of people think of the old anti-Semitic trope of Jewish groups controlling governments, controlling banks, controlling the media, particularly when you say that Zionist groups are exerting pressure on the Ontario government. So what do you think is the line between that old anti-Semitic trope versus what you're saying?
There are actual lobby groups who are attacking politicians, students, activists for trying to talk about and criticize the state of Israel. And I don't think that talking about these groups and what they're actually doing is an anti-Semitic trope.
Is there anything she could say? Is there any apology in the world that you would like to hear from her?
If she realizes how important that position is and starts using more responsible language, then of course. I think it's really important that we all have a responsible dialogue with each other.
Constituents, meanwhile, remain caught in a standoff, with Jama working to fight her censure and not backing down.
So, Thomas, we have a member of a provincial parliament who's barred from speaking in the legislature. This cannot be a very common occurrence.
The circumstances here are very uncommon when you consider that she's being punished inside the legislature for words she used outside of it. And in many ways, it is her constituents who are paying the price here because now they don't have anyone speaking on their behalf inside Queen's Park. There was another instance of this, one recent one in Ontario. Randy Hillier, then an MPP, who was censured at Queen's Park for speaking out against public health measures during the pandemic. He was eventually booted from the PC caucus. The most high-profile case, though, recently in North America was in the U.S. House of Representatives, Rashida Tlaib, who was censured there for her language around the Israel-Hamas war. But in her case, she was not barred from speaking afterwards.
So, you know, there is a movement within within the NDP of saying, let's bring her back into the party. What are the chances of that happening? Some
members are open to it. She seems to be open to that conversation, but over the weekend, the NDP's provincial council voted overwhelmingly against a suggestion to invite her back into the caucus. I should say that she has told us, Jama says she has not heard a word from the leader or anyone from that office since she was ejected. I should also say that she says she's still considering legal action against Premier Doug Ford for what she considers defamation.
All right, Thomas Dagler, thank you.
You're welcome.
Coming up, as the COP28 climate summit opens this week, there are questions about the motivations of the man leading it.
Can we really trust the oil and gas industry? That's the question.
Susan Ormiston looks at the oil executive in charge and whether he can lead the world away from fossil fuels. That's next on The Breakdown. The The head of an Arab state oil firm vows he'll be a green champion as leader of the world's biggest climate conference.
We need to phase out emissions.
Some hope this middleman will unite industry and activists.
Can the Sultan grab this moment?
Others see a stark conflict of interest.
So this is the person in charge of the COP?
So millions were spent to polish Sultan Al Jaber's image and install him as leader of COP28, which opens on Thursday. Senior international climate correspondent Susan Ormiston hears from believers and doubters.
Dubai is getting ready to host the biggest climate conference yet, an estimated 70,000 delegates to COP28. The stakes could not be higher after a record-breaking year of fires, floods, and soaring global heat, unprecedented climate emergencies. And in the spotlight, this man, Sultan Al Jaber, the CEO of an oil company trying to rally the world around the climate crisis. As president of this year's COP, he's the face of the United Arab Emirates' green persuasion, peddling the promise that the oil and gas industry that made this region rich must be part of the solution.
For too long, this industry has been viewed as part of the problem that is not doing enough, and in some cases, even blocking progress. This is your opportunity to show the world that, in fact, you are central to the solution.
Al Jaber has carved out a resume as both the CEO of ADNOC, the Emirates' national oil company, and a green tech leader at Masdar, the UAE's renewable energies company. So when he was handpicked by the UAE to lead COP, he got the backing of some leading climate advocates, like John Kerry, the U.S.'s climate envoy.
I think that Dr. Sultan Al Jaber is a terrific choice.
As an oil exec, Kerry said, Al Jaber understands and accepts the need to transition away from oil. Climate philanthropist Michael Bloomberg got on board behind Al Jaber, saying, for an epic challenge, we need all the allies, especially in oil and gas, we can get. King Charles gave him a supportive audience and agreed to kick off COP28 in Dubai this week. But Al Jaber's appointment touched off a swarm of controversy. More than 100 activists and politicians demanded he be removed or give up his oil executive position, arguing that his leadership puts the fossil fuel industry inside the high-level negotiations and cements its outsized influence.
They know the truth, and they
Al Gore, a leading environmentalist, fired back, "Do you take us for fools?"
He's the CEO of the Abu Dhabi National Oil Company, owned by Abu Dhabi. So this is the person in charge of the COP. He's a nice guy. He's a smart guy. But a conflict of interest is a conflict of interest.
Amy Westervelt, a climate journalist, says Al Jaber's position is a first.
He gets to be in the room, and that's really the first time that any oil company president has been in the room at COP.
Sultan Al Jaber has been working towards this for decades. Back in 2008, he met U.S. President George Bush, who called the UAE's plan for a sustainable city amazing. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton toured Masdar's operations. And in 2014, Al Jaber hosted Ban Ki-moon, then the UN Secretary General, on his visit to see the UAE's investment in solar energy, one of Al Jaber's first introductions to UN leadership. He was being groomed as a powerful asset for the UAE's diplomatic strategy, says Westervelt.
We want to be doing business with the West, and to do that, we need someone that can be taken seriously in those rooms and that seems like a modern, progressive thinker. And that is who Al Jaber is for them.
In an investigative report, Amy Westervelt details the multi-millions of dollars paid to PR agencies to shape Al Jaber's image, to put him in the room with the most influential validators, she says.
I think the goal was hosting a climate summit and having Al Jaber run it. And I think that they were pretty strategic about, look, if Our business is energy. Everything we do is pegged to the petro economy. So if we don't have a major role in what happens with the future of this industry, we're done for.
Time magazine has put him on the cover, calling attention to the man in the middle.
We need to phase out emissions from all sectors, including transportation, agriculture, heavy industry, and of course, fossil fuels.
Sandrine Dixon de Cleve has worked at the heart of international climate negotiations for over 30 years.
Can the Sultan grab this moment and demonstrate true leadership by declaring a fossil energy phase out?
Al Jaber is signaling he's listening.
Deny.
But Harjeet Singh with Climate Action Network is skeptical.
Can we really trust the oil and gas industry? That's the question. We want to see the beginning of the end of fossil fuel era. And how can you believe an industry would be taking any such suicidal move?
COP28 opens Thursday with skepticism. But with the stakes so high, there is also space for hope.
The fact that we could truly find a leadership within the Sultan that would declare actually in the Middle East by those countries that are the largest producers, truly declare that we would have a phase out, that would be a monumental moment if we can seize it.
Sultan Al Jaber's dual roles is already becoming a major distraction here, with questions around his independence and whether ADNOC, the Abu Dhabi National Oil Company, is using its influence in COP28 advance meetings. He's going to have to answer to all those questions and persuade the non-believers that oil and gas companies can be partners in solving the climate crisis.
All right, Susan Ormiston in Dubai. Coming up, get your sunglasses and look at this Christmas display. You might wonder if it can be seen from space.
Basically, we have just about everything for everybody.
More than 135,000 lights to get you in the spirit. Next, in our moment.
I'm Damon Fairless. Tomorrow on CBC's daily news podcast, Front Burner, how a Toronto psychologist's scientific expertise is being used to defend the rollback of trans rights in the U.S. Listen wherever you get your podcasts or on YouTube.
So yeah, it still is only November, but this Edmonton household already has its lights up, 135,000 of them. And the spectacular display is also a tribute to a loved one. Dom Dombrowski lost his brother-in-law after a battle with ALS. So now Don installs each light and each decoration in his honor. And tonight, this light show of love is our moment.
About 7 years ago, we started adding some things outside, and it was, small, and then it continually grew. Now, right in the area of about 135,000 LEDs, probably in 5,000-6,000 watts. We started in August, and basically it's 320 hours to set up outside. Nothing too crazy anyway. My brother-in-law, Larry, last year in April, he passed, so we had dedicated the light display to him. Oh, I stand out there every night for the whole duration of the event, and I talk to as many people as I can. I'm more of an extrovert than an introvert, and the stories and the feedback I get are just priceless. There's a lady came through 2 years ago now, and she told me her mom had stage 4 cancer, who was in Kelowna, and it's the first time she's seen her smile in 4 months. And if that doesn't get you, then I don't know what does. And we all do it for our community first, right? So that's the good thing about it anyway.
Hey, Don, you're a very talented guy. Believe it or not, our producer, Andrew, was just sending me some pictures. The inside of the house is just as spectacular. Apparently, the whole family spent about 7 months getting ready for this, and Don says he wants more lights. For all of us here at The National, thanks for being with us. You can watch anywhere, anytime on the free CBC News app and subscribe to The National's YouTube channel. I'm Adrienne Arsenault. Take care.